What if it was possible to have local, fresh groceries delivered right to your door? Think of all the free time you'd have. Well, Instacart gives unlimited grocery delivery for one low monthly fee. Forgot that special ingredient in your favorite dish? Instacart can deliver it to your front door in as fast as 1 hour. You can shop multiple stores, see deals in your area, and save time and money. I've been using Instacart for over 3 years. I started using them in Arizona, and I'm using them here in Florida. I love the time-saving convenience. They pick the freshest products, and they keep my eggs safe too. To receive your first delivery free, follow the link in the show notes so that Instacart knows that we sent you and to help support the show. Instacart. Never step foot in a grocery store again. Welcome to Empowered Within, a soul-quenching, transformational podcast that will set your soul on fire through candid and inspiring conversations. Leading experts, celebrities, healers, and I share our journeys of how we've overcome challenges to living an empowered life from within. I'm your host, Jennifer Pilates. Welcome to another episode of Empowered Within. Hi there, and welcome to the show. I am excited to have back with us Nikki Vasconez, pet psychic extraordinaire. Nikki wasn't always a pet psychic. Her career path started out as an attorney. In fact, it wasn't until her late 20s that she learned animal communication was even possible. Last July, Nikki quit her attorney position and went full-time as an animal communicator. She now spends her days connecting with animals and teaching us all how to connect with animals in a way modern society tries to convince us is only possible in movies and fairy tales. Welcome to the show, Nikki.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for having me on again.
Yes, I'm so excited. And we have our Zoom working today, so we're so excited. We'll have video. So let's start with how you truly were inspired to take this leap of faith.
It really was just having trust that when we're following our heart, anything that we want is possible. And it's scary because we need money and we have bills. But I had been growing this animal communication business on the side for about 6 months before I quit my lawyer job. And I was like, you know what? It's going to work. It's going to work. It's what I want. And that's how it all started. But also having a really supportive husband, because he was like, just do it. We'll figure it out. We didn't have kids or a mortgage at the time. So I was like, now is the time to do it.
Right. If not now, when? That old saying, right?
Right.
That is so amazing. And I love how you fell into alignment and followed your heart with that. And you've had so many people supporting you. That's amazing. What is your day-to-day life, your reality now that you're an animal communicator full-time?
It's really awesome because I spend so much time with my dogs, but it's a lot of work. So what people I think don't realize is that I can't just get up every day and talk to animals unless I'm sleeping well, eating well, exercising, doing all that stuff. Assuming I'm doing all of that so I can stay clear for my sessions. I do my sessions in the morning. I hang out with my dogs. I take them to our grandparents next door at lunchtime. And then the business side of stuff. So I think, working for yourself, you almost work more than when you work for somebody else, building the business aspect of it. But I spend so much time with my dogs. I learn so much from them. And it's really empowering and healing for me as I navigate this journey, because animals, like I always say, they truly are our greatest teachers.
They truly are. And so what does that look like? Because you went from being in the corporate world to now being an entrepreneur. So how have you managed to find that flow for yourself there?
So my husband has been a huge part of this because I call him my little researcher. He will research the best newsletter platform for 3 days straight. And I'm like, heck no, I'm going to Google it. And the first one that comes up, I'm going to look into. I might look into a couple, but it's been nice having his help there because I'm doing the social media and the videos, but he's kind of really doing the research behind the scenes. So it was a dual thing there. But once I got into the flow, like you said, figuring out how to navigate a newsletter platform, how to not let social media consume you, because in the beginning, you want to see how every video did and how many likes and views, and just filming takes a lot of time. Just like with anything, in the beginning, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. But the more you do it, the better you get. And then eventually it just flows. Any new business isn't going to flow, I think, right away. Even if you're following your heart's passion, it's going to flow in the sense of you're doing what you're meant to do, but it's a lot of work. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And then everything just kind of, and then you find what works, and you kind of find your groove in it as you do it. But for me, like, I work so much more now than I did as a lawyer, but it doesn't feel like that, that cliche comment. It's not work if you love it. And that's truly true. It really is.
It truly is. And I love and appreciate your authenticity with sharing that, transitioning to being an entrepreneur, being your own boss, it's not easy, but it's so worthwhile in the end when you're doing what you love.
Yeah. And what has been my struggle still is like shutting down for the night. Because it'll be 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I could change this on my website. Or, hey, babe, what do you think about this? And I'm learning, like, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. My goal is no phones, no email. You don't need to respond to people within 5 minutes. Like, it's okay, Nikki.
Exactly. I do the same thing. And it's very difficult because especially when you work from home and you walk past the office, regardless if that door is open or not, you could go, right, oh, well, I could just do this one more thing. And no, I'm like you. I need time to, and I imagine you do too, to unplug, to unwind, yeah, to release the day.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. If I don't, like today, for example, I was doing stuff last night way too late. And I know if I'm on the computer doing stuff too late and the eyeballs are fixed on the screen, I'm probably not going to wake up in the morning feeling very clear to do sessions. And that's what happened this morning. So I know it's just, we got to get out of our own way sometimes.
So when that does happen on a day like today, do you then shift and will you do the readings in the afternoon, or do you wait and you always do them in the morning? So you'll do them tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll do them tomorrow because for me, I'm the most clear when it's first thing in the morning. And then if I'm not feeling clear enough to do readings, I'll jump into other stuff on the computer. And then after I'm on the computer for a couple hours, I don't want to do readings because I probably could, but I just feel like my energetic body is the most clear pre-computers, phones, social media, and all of that.
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm like you. I prefer to do everything in the morning when I'm clear, when I'm good. Yeah. How does it look for you? How are your sessions? How do you begin? And then, you have your session with the animal. And then how do you end? How do you clear? How do you disconnect?
I love that question. It's going to be funny when I show you. I start, the session itself is very boring to look at. Like people are always like, post a video of you doing a session. And I'm like, well, it would be me sitting in a chair with my eyes shut, not moving for an hour. Like not really fun to look at. When I first enter into the session, I sit in a quiet room right behind me. And I'm just in my chair, my eyes are shut, and I take 5 to 10 minutes really to just like center myself, kind of breathe, kind of meditate a little bit just to clear the energetic body and really connect in with the animals. The session itself is about an hour. And again, my eyes are shut. If I was doing this reading for myself, like my own dogs, it would be completely silent. But because I have to give this to somebody else, I record myself talking. So I will speak out loud the question that I'm asking the animal, and then I will say their answer out loud, and I'm recording myself on my phone with the voice memo. Then I send the people the audio file to listen to after the fact. So my sessions are done completely remotely on my own time. I'm not on the phone with the people. I'm not on Zoom. For me, I think I can connect in a lot deeper when I'm just my own energy in my own space, 7 a.m., and it's quiet. And then to disconnect, it's so funny. Every time I teach a workshop, I make the people do what I do just to build the habit. So I literally stand up, I shake it off, I shake my butt, I do the hokey pokey, and I just shake off the energy. And I visualize, so when I connect in with the animal, I visualize like a beam of light going from my heart center to their heart center. When I disconnect, I imagine that light leaving the animal's heart center, coming back into mine. And I do this thing, I don't know why, where I like go, and I like shoot the energy up and I shoot the energy down. And it's me visualizing, like creating this barrier in front of me, separating from the animal. It's just a visualization I do to disconnect. Because in the beginning, I would always forget to disconnect. And then I would carry the animal with me all day. Like if the animal had, like a horse, for example, I still remember, their right kidney was achy, their right kidney area. And all day, my right side hip was bothering me. And then 5 o'clock at night, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was because of that horse. So when I teach these workshops, I literally make people get up, do the hokey pokey, shake it off, because you have to disconnect, which is, I'm so glad you asked that question, because a lot of people they forget about that. But with energy, like you really got to cut the cord.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your hokey pokey. I think that's fabulous. I think that is so cool. Well, I'm excited that you brought up your workshop because I am signed up for your workshop in 2 weeks and I am so excited. So do you do these? Let's talk about your workshops. Do you do these every month and what's in them? And because we want everyone to be a part of them.
What's really great is I started doing workshops this year. And I was doing them like every other month and they were filling like right away. And I was like, there's a need for this. So now I do them every month and I cap it at 25 people per workshop because I want to have time for everyone to share. And it's really fascinating. I cap it at 25, but every single workshop since February, 16 people show up live. We always have 16 people. I have no idea why. It's always the same number, which is the max that we all can share. And it's a good time. It's 2.5 hours. I actually had to extend the workshop. They used to be 2 hours, but we were always going over. So now it's 2.5. But anyway, I started doing them every month and they were filling instantly. So next month in September, I'm hosting 4. I was doing 2 every month, a Saturday and a Sunday. Next month, I'm doing 4. And the first 2 workshops filled in 2 hours. Like I sent a broadcast out to my list. Within 2 hours, the one was filled. Within 3 hours, the second one. And then like the next night, the other 2 filled. So I'm like, there is a need for this, which is super great because yes, I'm an animal communicator and people pay me for sessions and that's all fine and dandy and good. But my main goal is to show people that, hey, like you can all do this. And this is, I have 100 people a month doing these workshops and every single person is seeing, oh my gosh, I just did this. And I quote, didn't know anything or how to do it. And it's just really, really awesome. So every month I'm going to do at least 2. I'm creating a membership platform right now. Hopefully it'll go live October, November, where people pay monthly, a smaller fee, and they can practice. And we have live workshops and weekly calls because there is really a need for people to learn animal communication.
Are you ready to lose inches, increase strength, and tone your body from head to toe? Are you ready for a total body, mind, and spirit transformation? I am excited to announce that I am launching my exclusive 8-week Pilates Return to Life training program. This will give you an opportunity to have a total body, mind, and spirit transformation of health and wellness to a new lifestyle. Imagine in 7 days you will feel a difference, in 14 days you will see a difference, and in 8 weeks you will have your new Pilates body. So what do you say? Want to join me on the mat? Head over to jenniferpilates.com today. Space is limited. Use this special promo code EW and the word special, EW special, to receive $200 off while space is available. Head on over to jenniferpilates.com and I'll see you on the mat. Yeah, I think it's amazing. And I am so excited. And so I know that you said that we could, send in picture. Well, you're going to pick, right? So do you connect, you choose a couple of animals and then you say, okay, this is my example of how this happens?
So the way that the workshop goes, and I'm not going to give you specific details because I don't want to give it away for you, but I'll just tell you, it's okay. So each workshop, we talk to 3 animals. I give everyone who signs up a chance to volunteer their pet to be talked to. And then I'll randomly select 3. Yep. So I have a whole, the Excel spreadsheet where people put all their, my name, my animal, cat, dog, horse, whatever it is. I'll randomly select 3. And then ahead of time, I'll email those people and say, hey, your animal was chosen. Please send me a picture. And then on the workshop, I will share the screen. We'll show you the pictures. The first animal that you all talk to, and I'm only telling you this because you asked about it. I don't want to lie. The first animal, I just say, here's a picture, do it. I give you no instruction, no tips, because I want you to see that without me even giving you any guidance whatsoever, you can do it. Every single person is going to get something from this animal. And it's really empowering for people to be like, wow, like I didn't know anything. And they told me about their favorite color, toy, whatever, which is really cool. And then, so after that, everyone talks to the animal. Everyone on the call will share what they got. And then afterwards, the owner, who's also on the Zoom, will give feedback. And then I give some tips and advice. We talk about it. We do the second animal. Everyone shares. Owner gives feedback. I give more guidance. And that's kind of the flow of the workshops.
I know. I'm so excited. I wanted to sign up for all 4. And I thought, well, that might be kind of selfish of me. Like, surely there's other, because I was like, this is so exciting. Yeah. You just opened up a whole nother world for me.
And the reason that I am creating this membership platform is because there are 3 people that every single month sign up for every workshop. And I was like, and I'm seeing the same names and I'm seeing the same faces. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're signing up for every single one.
And here I thought I was going to be selfish to sign up for 2. I should have.
And so I was like, people want this. Like they need it, because when you're a pet lover, an animal lover, like what cooler thing to experience in life than speaking and hearing your pet's voice? Like, oh my gosh, it's amazing.
I think it's really incredible. And since our first conversation, and for people, I want everyone to know this is actually our second episode. So we have a different episode that you can go back and it's completely different information. But what I did share is that I came across Nikki on social media and reached out, and I thought there's something so spectacular and her energy was amazing. Totally wanted to have her on the show. And after our first conversation, and being an intuitive empath, I have a very good relationship with my animals. It deepened to a whole nother level. Like just having had conversations with you. And then since then, I realized, and it was very interesting, I never thought about animal communication or pet psychics. I've always been around intuitive advisors. I'm one myself. And then I had a call from a client. And she goes, oh my God, Jennifer, you're not going to believe this. Like Benny died. What am I going to do? And I was like, oh, no worries. Like, and I wasn't even thinking about you, Nikki, right? So I just do what I always do, which was I tuned in to Benny, had a conversation with her and Benny, and I moved on with my day. And then I sat down and you popped up on my phone and I realized, oh my gosh, I've actually been doing this for years.
Yep.
Never paid attention, never thought about deciphering down, niching down, so to speak, to this. And I thought, what an incredible gift that you have given to me to shine light on a path that I was on, but didn't realize I was on. Right. And that's where I was supposed to be. As
an intuitive coach, like you said, you are. Intuitive messages, telepathic messages are so quick. Mm-hmm. If you can miss them and just assume, like an example, like your dog is thirsty and you just get a feeling, my dog's thirsty, the water bowl's empty, you go over, it's empty, you fill it, you continue doing what you're doing. It's easy to be like, wait a minute, whoa, my dog just told me they were thirsty. So these messages, so many people, they're already doing it like yourself, but they just aren't aware of it until they become aware of it. And then they're like, oh my goodness, this is happening all of the time.
Oh, all of the time. It is so, there were so many, and now I've always communicated with my first baby that passed. But again, I never thought about it being animal communication. And so you and I had talked about various books that one could get. And so I sat down and I was on Amazon and I was ordering them. And then I looked up and my baby's picture is above the refrigerator. And as I looked up and I looked down, it makes me want to cry, there were 2 books that you said to get. Well, above them, there was another book, which is about reincarnation, which brings me into my next question I wanted to talk about. So I looked at it and I said, this book, Jackson? And he said, yes, that book. So I said, okay. So again, here I am doing everything, not actually recognizing it, to speak to what you're speaking of. And so I ordered the book. It came in. I was so excited. And I read like the first 3 pages, hysterically crying, like hysterically realizing, oh my gosh, you're trying to tell me that you're reincarnated here.
Oh my!
And God. I've always
seen. What's that book? Do you remember the title?
Oh, it's in the other room. I will grab it for you.
Let me know. I like to follow the rabbit trail of books. People who mention books, I'm like, yep, I'm ordering it. I'm ordering it.
It's phenomenal. It's by Brent Atwater. Okay, so the title of the book is I'm Home, A Cat's Never-Ending Love Story, Return from Rainbow Bridge. I mean, right there, if you don't start crying at the title, like I might question the cat lover in you. And so it was amazing of this woman's story of how her new cat started acting like the old cat. And now, do both of mine absolutely have tendencies to look like Jackson? What it just struck me in such a way, which, of course brings me to my question to you is, How do you feel about pets reincarnating? Yeah, I like to say animals. I don't like to say pets.
I'm the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't like to say pets
How
either.
do you feel about animals reincarnating? And not only that, I question, can an animal sort of reincarnate, or can their spirit come through two different animals at one time? I wonder.
This is where I'm at with that. I've learned from talking to animals that I know nothing and everything is possible. Now, to that, I did a session like a year ago at this point, and I forgot all about it. I got a message last week from the human. So I did a session with a cat, and she apparently told me last year, I'm going to come back to mom in this lifetime as a male dog with funny ears, and there's going to be something unique about the letter S in relation to me and my new dog body. I forgot all about that. I get a message on Instagram last week from the mom, and she says, Nikki, you're never going to believe this. And she's like, well, you actually will believe it, but oh my gosh, let me tell you a story. Her cat, so she foster failed this dog named Ranger, who she has right now. He has the funniest ears ever. Like, his ears are like always like this, like forward. And everyone always comments on his funny ears. And then, so she didn't realize it at first. She realized recently that his sister, who they had first, her name was Spartan, and they were fostering her. And then there was some other S name with the mom of the dogs, like the dog mom. But she realized that this dog lays in the same spot her cat used to. Male dog, funny ears, Spartan, and some other S name. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, this is my cat. So prior to that, like, me personally, I've never had personal experience where an animal has come back to me in this lifetime, because I've only had my 2 dogs now. I have 1 dog that passed 2 years ago. So I don't have personal experience with it. But there are stories like that from my clients. Like, how do you discount that? I mean, I'm going to come back as a male dog with funny ears, letter S. That happens. Do I think so that can happen? I truly do believe. I also think that sometimes when our animals start doing things our other animals used to do, it might not always be reincarnation. It could also be what I call like heaven boot camp, where your angel and spirit, your animal and spirit, is kind of saying to your new pet, hey, do this, go there, mom likes this, dad likes that. I think that can happen too. I don't know that you can always tell. I think whether you realize it's an actual reincarnation, you'll just know in your heart, like, is this my previous animal? Do I think the spirit can go into 2? I don't really know, but I'm open to everything, because I've just learned that I don't know anything, and I feel like everything's possible. But what I do know for sure in my own reality is that when people schedule sessions with their animals that have passed, I never ask how long ago they've passed away. I talked to a couple animals that passed like 20 plus years ago, and the sessions are very good and accurate. So even if that animal has since reincarnated, there is still the essence of your animal, your pet, in spirit. Like, even if they've reincarnated, the essence of who they were as your, I'm going to say pet for ease of this conversation, the essence of who they were as your pet in this lifetime, I, as an animal communicator, can still connect with, even if they've reincarnated, because our soul, our spirit, that part of us is in existence forever. I can't explain how it works, but all I can say is that, you know, having talked to animals that I later find out passed decades and decades and decades ago, I don't see how there's any other explanation other than that, because, I mean, if they've reincarnated, how am I still having a conversation?
Right. I find that so fascinating. Have you ever had a conversation where you were talking with a pet that has passed, who then you do find out is already reincarnated? Or like they tell you, like, hey, like, I'm the dog down the street, or hey, I'm actually with mom right now. Has that happened yet? Ooh, no. It must be coming.
Oh, it'd be so cool.
Yes. When I picked up this book again, and this is all attributed to you, and I thank you for this, it just made me look at my one kitty so differently. And I went, oh my gosh, like, you, whether you're her or not, I'm not sure, but you definitely came through for a long time. And then I look at my other one and I go, that really could be you though over here. But you certainly have the essence of your, you know, like what you're saying, those sort of, you know, God angels that are coming through. Right. So either way, it's spectacular and amazing. And it's just, I mean, I've learned so much from you, and just all we've had are conversations. We've never dived deep. We've done nothing. And so it's quite amazing. So I've got to ask you, what is the favorite aspect of your work, being an animal communicator now?
I think my favorite part of this, it's so simple. It's not empowering. That's not the right word. Allowing humans to realize they are already communicating and understanding their pets. Because a lot of what comes through in my sessions, you already know, which is why you love when I say it. Because you're like, oh my gosh, that's so true. That's my dog. I knew they loved that. Like, you already knew it. It's just cool to hear it from a third party. And I'm the same way. I have animal communicators talk with my animals sometimes just because, like, even though I really have a good connection with them, I want to hear it from someone else because it solidifies it. So my favorite part is just allowing, teaching you guys how to do this, but also seeing your reaction when you realize you're already doing it like you were before you even realized you were doing it.
I know. Quite fascinating. I just never thought about the name pet psychic or animal communication.
Yep.
And
I didn't even know, like you said in the very beginning when you were introducing me, I didn't even know this existed until my late 20s, like 5 years ago. Surely it has crossed my path, but again, like I said, I'm always surrounded by, medical intuitives or intuitives or a psychic or a tarot reader or a crystal lover or Reiki. It's a rarity, like you're saying, this is so needed. It is a rarity to find a pet communicator, an animal communicator. And I just thank you for popping onto my social feed when you did, because you really have taken my world and flipped it into such a beautiful place. And it's like, so simple, right, Jennifer? Like,
so simple.
Just talking to your pets more because you're already doing it. You just weren't aware you were doing it. Yeah.
Had no idea.
You're welcome.
But when I sat back and like I said, I started to go through and then I started to think about the different coachings and the readings I've had with clients. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you've been doing this, Jennifer, and you didn't even know what you're like. It just came so naturally. I didn't even think twice about it. It just was what it was. So yeah, I'm super excited for your workshops, and I encourage everyone to head over to her site and everything that she'll share with us so that you can jump onto her October, November. And what a fabulous gift to give to an animal lover for Christmas, for birthdays, for anything. I mean, oh my goodness. If you need my email, anyone, I'll send it your way. I'll definitely be joining every month. For sure.
Hey, if you want to do another workshop, let me know. I can fit one more. So my gift to you, if you want to come on.
I would love it. I would love it. Absolutely. Thank you. I am so excited. Yes, absolutely. Count me in for sure. So we are getting to this point in the show where I ask this one question, which you've answered before. So.
Oh, I have to think of the answer. Don't ask it yet. I got to think of a new answer. Just kidding.
No, I'm going to change the question because you've already asked.
Okay, good.
Because you've already answered it. So I'm going to change it just so everyone knows, because they're waiting for that question. Well, you have to go to the other episode and you'll get that question. So today I shall ask you, what is the biggest aha moment that you've had in becoming an animal communicator?
That I can do it and I don't have to try too hard. Because when you try too hard, you block the flow. So it's getting to the point in your journey of doing this that you trust yourself, you are confident, you realize I can do this, and then everything changes. And it's just trusting yourself. But you don't always start like that in the very beginning.
Right.
That was huge for me, because when I had that aha moment and I was like, okay, I can do this. I convinced myself I was doing this. It flows easier because then the human brain is not trying to figure it out. You're just doing it.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Will you share with our audience where they can best connect with you and sign up for your workshops?
Definitely. So my website is nikkivasconez.com. And then all my social links, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it's all Nikki Vasconez. So you can access my socials from my website. If you click those links, that's usually a safe bet to get to my right social media account.
As we close out the show, will you share an inspiring thought from Nikki?
Talk to your pets like you would a human family member, because you're going to see a change in their behavior. You're going to see them less anxious. They're going to understand your world a lot better, and they're going to feel closer to you, because all we want as pet owners is for our animals to really know how much we love them. And what better way than telling them about your day and your life, because then they have all the details and you will see a difference in your connection.
You absolutely will. Nikki, thank you again so much for coming back on. I love your energies. I'm learning so much from you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer. You're very welcome.
All right. Well, as we say, everyone, until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Empowered Within with Jennifer Pilates. Your feedback is important. It helps me to connect with you and gives me insight into who you are and what you're enjoying about the show. For today's show notes and discount codes from today's sponsors, head over to jenniferpilates.com. Until next time, may you live an empowered life from within.